Hey guys, Marc Spector Comics, and I'm back. So I did a little bit of digging the other day at my parents' house, and I found some stuff that I played with when I was a kid, and it brought back some good memories, and it kind of related in how I got into collecting comic books today. So if you want to find out what that is, stick around. All right, so like I said, I was at my parents' over the weekend for the holiday, and I did some digging, and some through a lot of the older stuff I had from when I was a child, in the basement where a lot of it's just basically sitting there collecting dust, and it was actually some of my old video games, and like I said, some of this stuff ties into my comic collecting passion today, and I didn't pick up any comics when I was a kid. I wasn't exposed to any of that. A lot of the stuff I was exposed to was video games. So a lot of these characters, I grew up with, and was basically through playing, video game systems. So I wanted to show you guys some of the early video games I played with when I was a kid, through different platforms, and some of them are comic related, some of them aren't. But I just kind of wanted to show that off, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right, so I'm gonna start with some of like the newer stuff first, and then get into the older stuff, which is some of them are over 20 years old. All right, so here we go. So this is I don't have this system anymore. This is PS3 stuff, but just wanted to show a lot of the games I had was like shooting games, some story mode stuff, a lot of action. So a lot of these newer stuff is like shooting games. Like some of the popular ones that you often see is like Killzone 2. One of my favorites playing them the last few years was Call of Duty, World at War. And had this really cool Resistance 2 by PS3. It's this like big package that comes with like an action figure in there, some like storylines and other added goodies that you would get from paying the extra that you would do normally when these companies would sell you these collector's packs. So that's all I have left from PS3. I no longer have that system. All I have now today is pretty much Xbox, and that's all my older stuff, like my Sega Genesis, my Nintendo systems are all gone. I either scrapped them or tossed them out years ago. So wanted you to next system was PS2. So here's some of the comic related stuff I was talking about. So this was Dragon Ball Z Budokai number 2. I love playing these fighting games, like I said, and this was a really fun game. Was playing Dragon Ball Z. I was a big fan of Boo, Majin Buu, Kid Buu, all the different renditions, even watching them in the cartoons. So this was a very fun game. Sports game. You guys probably never seen this before. Sega Soccer Slam. It's kind of lame, but I'm a big fan of soccer, so I figured I'd play that game for a little bit. Some of these single-player role games. Medal of Honor, Rising Sun. Love these World War II based games. It's a fun game. I used to play hours with a lot of friends, especially in school. Madden 2003. And Marshall Falk on the cover. It's too bad I lost the actual game to this next one. And this is the Rocky Legends. If you never watched the Rocky movies, check it out. Because you got some of the classics in here. Clubber Lang. You get, who else is in here? Obviously, Ivan Drago, and a few others. One of my absolute favorite games of all time growing up is Mortal Kombat. So this is with PS2. Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and this is the premium edition. I guess it came with like an extra CD in here. Yeah, an extra CD. pretty cool. Some extra content, and this is like when Mortal Kombat started actually having like the good storylines. It wasn't just like, you know, fighter based. You go up the, you know, the scales. So there was really cool storyline, and I think this is, yeah, because it's different material. It's like a steel book, so that had some extra content. One of the worst games I've ever played growing up as a kid was Fantavision. Couldn't tell you much about it. I think it was something along the lines of, you get these little streams going up, and you'd have to match it with the joystick. Really dumb game. And here's another one. Mortal Kombat Deception. And so you can see, got a little theme here. I love Mortal Kombat. So that's all my PS2 games. Now, as you see, we're going back a little bit. Some of the next series, gaming systems, regular PlayStation, PS1. So there's going to be a random assortment of games in here. Like I said, these are just like some random games I found just rummaging through my parents' basement. This game I honestly never even remember playing. Blast Chamber. Don't even know what this is. By looking at it, it just looks terrible. Another great game, NFL Game Day '99. Got Terrell Davis on there. Vigilante 8. Nice little shooter game. You used to drive around with vehicles and just try to kill each other. Very fun game. There was a short time where I was into the whole like BMX skating and stuff like that, so I picked this game up, and it was actually really fun. This is Dave Mirra's Freestyle BMX. Alright, the next two, of course, another World War II based shooting one-player games. This is Medal of Honor Underground and the regular Medal of Honor. Alright. Now we're getting to some of my classic favorite games of all time, and it's based off of Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So we'll start off with the Sega Genesis games, and then we'll have the last few Nintendo games that I still, you know, that I was able to quickly find. So this one, I don't have the original case. I must have lost it at some point. But NFL 95. It says all new. But yeah, it actually has got Joe Montana on there when towards the end of his career when he played for the Chiefs. You know, Steve Burke family, he's a big Chiefs fan. Sure he'll get a kick out of that. Alright. Some other random games. This was a fun game. I think I briefly remember playing this game. This was Steel Empire. Another one of those, like, flying, I guess it was like a futuristic space, you know, time where you're just shooting stuff, you know, trying to evade flying stuff coming at you, and looks like boats and stuff. I don't know. Kind of a weird game now that I think about it. Oh, here we go. Loved playing this game when I was a kid. Sonic Spinball. I think that honestly got me into playing the whole, like, love of playing with pinball machines, was playing this game right here. Used to have these really cool graphics of the, yeah, look at this, here we go. You guys can see that. Love playing that game. Alright. Next game. And I was a big fan of this singer when I was growing up as a kid in the 90s. And this is Michael Jackson. A lot of people don't know about this game. This game is a classic. And as you would play in the rounds, each round would play some of the old classic hits. So this is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. And you can see here in the back some of the stuff here. You got the, looks like Billie Jean. You got the Thriller. Really, really fun game. I used to just play through the different rounds and listen to the beats. It was great. And then my last two favorite Sega Genesis games that I have, of course, gotta bring it back with the MK, right? My favorite Mortal Kombat game of all time, Mortal Kombat number 2. If you ever played Mortal Kombat, let me know in the comments below what your favorite Mortal Kombat game was. And then my last Sega Genesis game, definitely comic book related, and this is Captain America and the Avengers. This is what I think got me into the whole Marvel thing growing up as a kid, was playing this Captain America game. It was very fun. You used to play as Captain America, Hawkeye, who else you get to pick? Iron Man, and the Vision. You may be able to see that there. So, awesome game here. Obviously, the big boss of it was the Red Skull. And but each level you play against these minor villains like Whirlwind. Who else was in there? Yeah. Oh, the Living Laser, Claw, the Grim Reaper, and then others. So, awesome game. One of my favorite Sega Genesis games of all time outside of Mortal Kombat. So, you've seen some of the few games I had in my collection. Now I'm going to get down to the oldest games I have, and that's my Super Nintendo. Oh, sorry, I said Super Nintendo. This is, my bad, regular Nintendo. Old stuff. Alright. Let me know if you guys ever played any of these games as well. So, this is a classic, of course. Super Mario Brothers number 3. Enough said on that game. And then I talked a little bit about this on Steve Burks' contest entry a while back. I think it was for his like 700 or 800 subscriber. How I used to love playing the Ninja Turtles games, but I never had any of the comic books growing up. And this was one of them. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 2, the arcade game. Love this game. I'm glad I was actually able to find this when I was quickly looking. Alright, and then the last 3 games. Great game, great game. Can't say too much more than that about this game. Ninja Gaiden number 2. This game came out, what, in 1990? Yeah, this is an old game. And then a very random game, a little futuristic, robots fighting dinosaurs, etc. Dino Wars. As you can see in the back. It just amazes me to see these graphics on here. Just some of the art. To see this is just crazy. And then the last game is another Nintendo classic. I'm kind of glad I'm finishing off with this one. And this is Double Dragon. And I've noticed this. This has a different. The seal is black. I'm not sure if that meant anything, because most of these other games all have the yellows, the browns, or whatever that gold color is. So I don't know if that's any difference or if that was just released with that. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you know anything about that. But hopefully you guys enjoy that. It brought back a little bit of memories for me because, like I said, I didn't grow up reading comics. I grew up playing video games, and a lot of these video games later on in life helped me, kind of slowly get into the comic books by just seeing these games, kind of relating with some of the characters from playing the games, and then just like, all right, well, let's check out some of these books, and then went from there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, shoot a like. Comment down below if you have any of these games or if you can kind of relate towards that as well. And make sure you hit that bell notification so you guys can get some of that content out there. I've noticed in some of the last few videos that some of the my subscribers out there are not getting the notifications as much because they don't have that bell notification up. So make sure you have that bell notification. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'm getting close to 400. I want to get that 500 subscriber contest out there soon. So the quicker we get there, the quicker you can see what the contest is all about. All right, guys. Until next time, Marc Spector Comics. Out.